plagued by reboots, haunted by sequels, dominated by the same old shit. Get ready for an original podcast that will gouge out your eyeballs and skull fuck you. Starring Ginger Josh, Adam the Hare, and introducing the immortal Frank. Hold on to your butts. It's the Game Rage Movies TV Podcast.
I can't fucking believe this.
Can't fucking believe it.
Can't fucking believe it. New horrible news on the movie front for comics. You can go to panel and hear all of what we have to say about that.
San Diego Comic-Con.
And the AIDS that is the announcement that they made regarding the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Also, if you want to hear more of our podcasts, like such as Panel to Panel, you can go to GameRageMagazine.com. You can also go to Game Rage Magazine on Instagram and TikTok, Game Rage Mag on Twitter /X. You can also follow Adam, because that's who's here with me today. I'm Josh, he's Adam. And you can follow him at All Gas No Trash Official, and go check out the All Gas No Trash music podcast. It's wonderful, it's great. This, however, is Game Rage Movies and TV.
And we're playing into the movies aspect of the Game Rage Movies and TV.
Yeah, that's right, buddy. Because we have we watched this fucking movie that Adam sent me a trailer for called Hundreds of Beavers.
There were literally hundreds of beavers.
What was funny is some of the trickery that they used, I was like, oh, that's smart. I could use that in future things. Because it was all in black and white. So there was it was very low stakes when it came to visual effects because you can't see, it's not in color. So you can hide a lot of shit. Which really made sense when I thought about it. I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm giving props to that, to the style in which the movie was done.
Okay.
However, this movie was fucking terrible.
You didn't like it?
I didn't. Yeah, I liked the first third of it, the first maybe 30 minutes. But then it just got it was same old shit. It's funny because I ran the gamut of fandom during this thing. I was like, oh, new cool thing I've never seen before. Awesome. Hey, this is pretty sweet. And then, oh, this is just like the old stuff. And then, oh yeah, this is literally the same old shit you guys have been showing me for years. Like I ran the whole gamut of like awesome new fan to like bitter fucking veteran in like an hour and 48 minute span.
Yeah, I think I found myself somewhere in between. I was fascinated by all the special effects that were done to mix cartoon and reality in for this specific film, and also all the tropes of cartoons in the past.
Yeah,
old black and white cartoons with slapstick comedy and shit. I really enjoyed that part, but. Like yourself, I think I found some of the parts too long, and if I had to criticize one portion of the movie, I would have to say that it was the middle section, the second part of the movie, because it is kind of split into thirds.
Yeah.
The first act being this guy that gets way too hammered off of his apple cider, and these fucking beavers destroy his reservoir for apple cider. So then, and I'm not sure if he was responsible for the fire himself, or it was provoked by the beavers, or maybe it was just because he was drunk and that ended up, or actually, I think it was the weather, wasn't it?
Yeah, or it's like it snowed or was some blizzard or some shit, and that's what fucking got his house like destroyed or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, so he wakes up and it's months afterwards, and he's got to figure out how he's gonna eat and shit. So a lot of the shit ends up getting repetitive in some with what happens with him hunting and stuff. And then, yeah, in the second act, it's building towards something, but I don't think it needed to be done note for note to get to where it needed to be. And yeah, so the first act was this guy that was tending to an orchard, and he was like an Applejack guy or whatever. He was making the cider and shit, and it was going well for him. Ends up in the forest, is displaced from his house and all that shit. So for the first act, he's just basically spending his time hunting and trying to survive. And I mean, there were some funny bits, like the woodpecker that would fucking attack him every time he would whistle, or anything that he thought that he did that was novel, or like he thought he was being a genius. The woodpecker would show up because he would whistle. He's like, oh.
Yeah.
And then there was funny things like, I mean, they kept going back to this a lot, but he would fall in holes, and they were basically rabbit holes that he would fall into. But he would hunt bunnies and raccoons, and then I think in the first act you find out that the raccoons are carnivorous and shit.
Yeah.
And the bunnies, fuck, what else am I forgetting? Well, he's trying to capture the bunnies to eat, and one of the traps that he sets up, I think, is like a rabbit with boobs or something.
Yeah.
And then at one point he makes like a giant snow carrot, and you see these two rabbits like walking up, and one of them is fascinated by it, and he pushes the fucking carrot over, and based on the geometry of the carrot being like a ellipsoid or whatever, it falls down and just rolls to the side.
It completely misses them.
Yeah.
And what was funny was because he tried to get him with the boob rabbit, but then when the two rabbits are walking by holding hands, and they look at it and they go, whatever. And it's like, oh, they're gay rabbits. So like that was funny. Like, it's like, oh, he's like, damn it, the boobs didn't work because they're gay. Like, just to show this guy's further bad luck, he ran into the only two gay rabbits in the wild. Like,
and he was like, oh.
Yeah.
And then the second half of the movie is him becoming a fur trapper. So he starts setting up booby traps and stuff. And then he eventually encounters this like a bazaar or like a shop or something that allows you to trade in these animals that you kill, which was, I think, the beavers that he wanted, plus like other animals, and you could trade these animals for coins. The coins would get you, well, for him it was like a little fucking Swiss Army knife. And then he traded like a Native American for, I forgot what the Native American guy gave him, and he ends up like doing this for the second half of the movie continuously, and he basically works himself up the ladder, up the tech tree, the technology tree, from a Swiss Army knife to like having a fucking rifle, or whatever the fuck he ends up getting.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that whole second half of the movie where you just see because it's kind of presented like a video game, is you see your character get built up with better weapons and shit.
Yeah.
But they literally do every single one. And I think that part could have been trimmed down to maybe the first two and then like the last two. And because he ends up doing a lot of repetitive shit. He sets up booby traps, and he's trying to capture bunnies and raccoons. And yeah, there's a lot of shenanigans in between. Then he ends up going to this wolf cave. Because eventually the person that was his mentor, the fur trapper, the wolves take the beaver coats or the beaver remains that were stuffed in a bag, and they're in the wolf cave because they're holding on to it. So one of the things that I actually did enjoy is that he's got like this like Goldberg machine of how he's going to escape this cave, because he ends up getting rushed out like numerous times out of the cave because the wolves attack him. So everything he's built in terms of like knowledge and all the equipment he's built, he ends up using like the woodpecker to set off his trap so he can get like launched back out of the cave and shit. I mean, it's pretty fun, but again, it just becomes monotonous and extremely boring. And then the last third of the movie is kind of dedicated to the title of the movie being the Hundreds of Beavers, the guys that sabotaged his business, the beavers, eventually getting in possession of the coats themselves or the beaver remains, because they have like this Watson and Sherlock Holmes character, like because this guy's been murdering animals, and these two beaver detectives are on his case, and eventually they end up capturing him, and they take him to the beaver headquarters and shit, and he gets put on a trial, which was kind of fucking hilarious.
That was funny.
And then he eventually destroys the whole fucking place. And yes, there was like a love interest. Like every time he would go to the shop, the person that was a shop owner had a daughter who would clean out the beavers and all the guts and shit, and then make fur items or clothing for the main character. And the movie, I thought the movie got bonus points because it got like completely absurd with, well, the number of beavers that were after him, but also the fact that after he destroys their home, there's like a beaver mech, like a mech beaver.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And for whatever reason, that shit was funny as fuck. But yeah, I think this movie could have been done in about like, I don't know, 60 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because it was kind of broken into those 3 sections or those 3 acts, and I feel like if they would have clicked each act to around 20 minutes, that would have been like the perfect, there would have been nothing bad about this. But what's crazy is everyone loves this fucking movie that's seen it online. Like all the reviews are stellar and positive. Like it's got like a 9, what is it? Where's the fucking reception on here? God damn it. I lost it, but it's like, doing it's done very well.
You can check on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, they had it. 96% on Rotten Tomatoes.
For user or critics?
Critics. 96% of 79 critics reviews.
Oh, okay.
With an average rating of 8.3 out of 10 when you bring everything all together.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if I would give it that high of a score.
I don't think I would either.
I will say I will give it bonus points because again, when he mixes the cartoon aspects into reality itself with for the movie, I do like it quite a bit, and also having There was a scene when he's in the beaver headquarters where it's not really a distinct place, but he was basically surfing on a waterlog, or not a waterlog, but a log itself, because there was these beavers that were basically had a factory going of wood or logs being moved around and shit. So like when we get to the escalation or the climax of the movie, he's trying to evade or escape from the beavers themselves. And because he obviously can't set up like a whole bunch of props, it's like a black environment, but there's like silhouettes of windows and shit like that.
Yeah.
And then also there's like him moving along the water stream that was moving the logs and shit. And I think that was like really creatively done because it's maximizing your creativity and masking the things you don't have, which is like set pieces and all that shit. So it's like what he was doing with a lack of set pieces or even an environment, because most of the movie takes place in the forest. So it's like, obviously this guy didn't have the money to shoot in different places. So for what he was able to do I think it's 2 dudes. It's like the producer or the executive producer or the director and the writer of the film, who I think is also the person starring in it as well. I think this movie is good in that way, that somebody stretched their creative limits and in ways like that are inconceivably possible. And I also looked into like the interview, because there was some person that interviewed the director and the main character in the movie. And dude, they did it with like a fucking DSLR camera. It was one fucking camera. And I'm like, damn, that's impressive. And a lot of it was just After Effects. Everything that they were doing was just After Effects. And I'm like, fuck, man, that's pretty fucking decent for... so I give it a lot of bonus points for a lot of shit that they were able to do. But
100%.
The timing of the movie, the pacing, that was the part that dragged a lot. And that's where I take away a lot as well.
Yeah, and what's funny too is they basically, it cost them $7,000.
$7,000 to make the movie?
No. $150,000 was the whole cost of the whole movie.
Okay.
But they got enough money to raise the first act or to film the first act, which was that first part we see. And then they took that and went to investors and got 150 grand basically to make the rest of the movie. Which that first part's good. Like I could see how that hooks people in.
Especially with like the opening song. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that shit was funny.
It was. And honestly, this did inspire me like, oh man, dude, we could make that. We could make something black and white, mostly on a green screen with the backgrounds and everything, and use After Effects to create any visual effects we need. Totally doable. Like, totally doable. It's going to take forever, but it's totally doable.
I don't know why my mind goes to like a more explicit version of Little Rascals. We'll call it Little Bastards.
Dude, that's fucking genius. Oh my God. You just unlocked something. I just leveled up because you said that. My brain just opened and I was like, holy shit, genius. And instead of like, you know how the kids got the hair, the thing that sticks up, it's just a middle finger. Like it just. Oh man. That's funny. Awesome. Yeah, no, I give them for sure props on that. And I'm not, and again, I just want to say too, like, you didn't make this for, I didn't, and it's that whole thing. I didn't make my art for people that don't get it. I made it for the people that do, right? And I get this. I just felt like it was too long. And that's it. That's all. That's what I'm shitting on it for, is it was too fucking long and it got repetitive. And that's whatever. You guys make whatever the fuck you want. They made $400,000. It made profit. Like they made their money back and the investors got paid in profit. So
they probably made like 50 grand each off of it, right? Because they probably paid everybody back their share.
So the budget initially was $150,000, right? So that was what they got initially from the investors. So that probably paid the people who weren't them acting in it, because the two guys that wrote it, one of them's the director and one of them's the main actor. Okay, and then basically the other four, because there's only 4 other people in the movie. And those 4 people, it seems like, are just actors. Like they didn't do anything else related to the producing or any of the other cinematography or anything like that.
So they just acted solely.
They were just acting. So they probably had to pay them. They said that they filmed basically that first act over, I think, 4 weeks. So you pay them 4 weeks worth. And then the rest of the scenes throughout the rest of the movie probably weren't, I don't even think there were in that many of them, most of them, the other people. So like, yeah, you could have probably just filmed all that at the same time.
Yeah, a lot of it was like 30-second.
Snippets. So like, if they already knew what they were kind of going to do and they already had them there, you could just film the whole rest of it, that the parts that they're going to be in, so that you have it, and then you can just splice it into whatever you needed the money for to film. It's genius. It really is. So you paid them probably, I don't know, what, a couple thousand a piece, maybe $1,000 for 4 days, or 4 weeks. Maybe you paid them $2,000 for 4 weeks. So, and maybe that's what they said. Hey man, when we get the money for this, we'll pay you guys or whatever. And then maybe they paid them a little bit of points on the top of it, get some profit points in case it does well. I'm sure that is how it usually works with people. And
they went straight to release, though. They didn't release it in theater.
No, they went straight to VOD, as it says, video on demand. It went straight out, didn't go into theaters. But they made, like I said, just straight video on demand, $472,822.
So they made 3 times their money.
Yeah, and I'm sure the investors were happy. I'm sure that anybody who was in the movie was happy, because we spent basically, you had that first initial 3 to 4 weeks, and then they went back and filmed the rest of it over 9 weeks. So you're telling me for basically, 3 months, 4 months-ish worth of work, and everybody got paid, we made their money back, the investors got their percentages back, and then those guys probably just kept the rest. Like, that's, I mean, I'd be kind of communist, and I'd be like, hey, the people that were in it, I'd be like, hey, cool, here's a little bonus, here's a little extra, here's an extra grand if, we got it, because like shit. And now they can take that money that they made, if they took 50 grand each, cool, that's 100 grand. You guys can take that money and make your next fucking project, and you don't need as many investors, I guess, right? Technically. So, but yeah, they did it. They shot the whole thing on the Panasonic fucking G5 or GH5, which is just a DSLR fucking camera.
Yeah.
And that's fucking great. That's easy. That's not easy, but it's affordable in terms of if you want to be a filmmaker and you want to make shit, this is just proof that you don't need to fucking spend $20,000 on a camera to make shit.
Yeah.
Like, if you got a story and you got something to say, you could record it on a fucking VHS fucking camcorder.
Yeah, you can get substance and style for not a whole lot of money.
Which really, I have been thinking about this for anything that we do when we start in the next near future here, when we start doing video shorts or content. I was really thinking about capturing that VHS style and like have kind of like a little bit of the grain to it, like have that like, you know, just to kind of like distract from the shittiness of the props or whatever else we have. And then also, this movie did show me black and white's the way to go. That can hide a lot of fucking problems. So, you know, it's the Paul Heyman thing. Accentuate the positives, hide the negatives. So, good storytelling, good jokes, fucking put those to the forefront. And you don't have the best fucking camera? Cool, we'll do it in black and white so it doesn't fucking matter. We'll throw a little film grain over it so then it really doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Sweet, problem solved. Like, you know, I give these guys props 100%. I'm not shitting on them. Like I said, the movie was too fucking long. I was just like, Jesus fucking Christ. As I was halfway through, I'm like, there's still another fucking hour?
Yeah, I thought the same thing for sure.
I was like, fuck.
I mean, there was fun things, like I said.
Yes, it was sprinkled in there.
Yeah, it wasn't, I don't know if it was consistent, but I mean, one of the jokes that I liked was when he meets the fur trapper, the dogs start disappearing because the wolves start attacking them. And the dogs, like, so it starts off with them at some encampment, right?
Yeah.
And the dogs are like playing poker.
Right.
And then one of them gets taken off and the rest of the dogs are like just hanging out and still playing as if nothing's wrong. And then there was another instance where the dogs start to whittle down. But they're doing weird shit. Like there was 2 dogs fucking in the background. And then eventually when it becomes to like a pack of 4, the main character ends up becoming a dog. So it was just, you know, fun things like that. And then I don't know if this was alluded to or if this was them alluding to the shop owner being gay or whatever. Because he talks to the fur trapper that's not the main character.
Oh, the other one, yeah.
And he makes some kind of proposition, but it was for his daughter first, and then he makes a proposition like for himself or some shit.
He's like, oh, what about me?
Or I can't remember exactly, but by the end of the movie, when the main character has enough, spoiler alert, once the main character has enough beaver coats to trade in, the shop owner like ends up kissing the main guy, which was
funny.
Yeah, it was interesting, but and then also I guess the other funny bit was how promiscuous like the daughter ends up becoming. I mean, it went from one extreme to the other.
Yeah.
We went from like ankles being shown and the guy losing his shit, and then she just eventually starts stripping on a pole. It within a span of like 10 seconds or some shit.
Oh yeah. I mean, like you said, there were good moments in there. And I'm not like, I don't think that this movie is as good as everybody's fucking saying it is. I don't think it's that high. I think it's maybe, if I had to give it a rate out of 10, I feel like it's like a solid fucking C. Like I think 7. Like a 6.5, 7. Like 6.5 out of 7, maybe.
I mean, I don't know if I was gonna go that high.
Oh yeah, what were you gonna give, like a 5?
I think I was gonna give like a 5 or 6.
5 or 6?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that. And honestly, the only reason I'm even giving it that 6.5 to a 7 is because of the way in which that they had to make the movie. Like the injury. I'm giving them props for behind the scenes shit.
Yeah, and I think maybe a 6 is probably what I'm leaning towards because of the bonus points for pretty much what I already said about all the things that they were doing in After Effects to create like the Beaver headquarters and all the shortcuts and things that they were doing to compensate for the fact that they couldn't have set pieces. I thought that was really awesome.
Yeah, it was. And quite enjoyable. So, you know, you should go watch the fucking movie. Go watch the movie, support these fucking guys, and I'm not shilling for them because I want to or because they're sponsoring us, but fuck it. I mean, they made a movie. Fucking go ahead and check them out. You know, I think it was what? It's like $3.99 or something like that, I think. I think it's $3.99 to rent it. $2.99.
It's cheaper than a movie ticket.
And hell, it gives you entertainment for an hour and 48 minutes. So,
man, what I was thinking, I was okay. I hope this movie's an hour and 30 minutes because the other 18 minutes, I'm hoping was just the end credits because they did a lot of the end credits in the beginning.
Yeah,
I thought they were gonna do it again. So once I saw there was an extra 18 minutes, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, you're like, oh god.
Or shit, the second act, that's where I was saying fuck because, goddamn, when he just goes around
leveling up.
Booby traps and like the map is changing because he's changing where he puts his fur traps or his traps to capture animals and shit. That was like half the movie was him setting up shit.
And one of the things that they said on a thing that I had read was that they were trying to film that middle part to be like watching a Let's Play.
Yeah, like a video game.
But it's like watching a Let's Play of someone leveling up their character, and I'm like, dude,
I don't want to watch
that. Is not fucking what I am into. That is ass.
Yeah.
Now, granted, large portion of the population loves that shit. Me, not so much. But I see where you were going. I feel like if that's what you wanted to do, you could have done it in a shorter time span. And to me, made it even funnier by being like, just have the guy in the bottom corner, like a Let's Play, like put him in the bottom right corner, and then have him with a headset on and sitting, like just be ridiculous. Be like, all right, so this one I got bored, and then like I just started fucking going through, and I'm like, all right, cool, I just was gonna speed run this, and then just have him speed run it real quick, like do 5 minutes of him leveling up, and then he goes like, fuck, like he fails, and he just throws the controller or something. He's like, god damn it, I hate this fucking game. And then he goes back to fucking being in the world. He's like, the fuck? And then like, oh, he's leveled up now. Oh, sweet. Like, that's how you do it, I think.
Yeah, because then you could stretch the cartoon aspect of the movie.
Yeah.
And breaking the fourth wall and all that weird shit.
We're gonna use that in Little Bastards somehow.
Little Bastards.
Man, I hope there's no movies called Little Bastards, man. I'd be real sad. But we got a Little Bastards movie. Oh man, there is a movie called Little Bastards. Is this a foreign film? Film out on Netflix. This is from 2018. No, maybe not. Little Bastards film. See what? Who watched this?
You just call it Little Bastards the movie or something.
Yeah, Little Bastards film. The Little Bastard is a 1997 animation. Oh, we call it Little Bastards, like I-L-L-I-L.
L-L. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Little Bastards, the movie. Man. Is this like a foreign movie? It's on Plex. What the fuck is Plex? This is like a British thing, so... Oh, and it's not about... All right, I don't think it's about, like, kids, man, so I think we're good. I think we got this. Like, just do it about, like... It'll just be like us, but, like, grown up. Like, it'll be like, oh, but we're...
Knee-high shorts.
Yeah, like pretending like we're kids in the 90s and just do... Oh, man, dude, that's going to be fucking insane. We're going to say horrible fucking things... Because it's going to be like back in the 90s, man. But you know what? I think people want that now. I think they want that back. I think they want to hear that shit again. So, I don't know.
Calling your friends gay.
Yeah. Calling them retards. That's what they want. The people want it, and we're about to find out. I think this is going to be excellent.
So you gave the movie...
I gave it a 6.5, 7, somewhere around there.
All right, I'll give it a 6.
6? All right, we're in the same ballpark.
Yeah, so... Anyways, if you have some time and you like slapstick comedy, you like Looney Tunes and shit, I think this might be up your alley. As we said before, some of the cons is that the movie's too long and some of the jokes get played out because it happens so frequently. So be on the lookout for that. But other than that, I mean, I guess the movie was enjoyable. Apparently, there's another movie I think this duo worked on.
Yeah, it was like it was their first movie that they made, which was some kind of like sea lake monster movie, or it's like I don't know if it's like a horror movie or something like that.
Right.
But it also looks like it's in black and white and of similar effect. So, I mean, it won the 2 awards in the categories it was in at these film festivals. So, like,
what? Fucking Toronto or Michigan?
No, it was like Illinois. Not to be fucking like elitist or sound like an asshole, but
kind of we are.
Yeah, I mean, it's like wait a minute, Hundreds of Beavers, where'd it go?
Also, the joke about them flooding the dam breaking down and like the whole area flooding, and then I think it creates like the Green Bay.
Yeah.
creates Green Bay, Wisconsin or something.
Yeah, it was at the Kansas International Film Festival and the Phoenix Film Festival. So
Wait, it was at what?
Phoenix Film Festival
What was the other
and
one?
Kansas.
Oh, I thought you said can, like the...
No, Kansas.
Oh, I was like, there's no way this shit would make
I
it
think
to...
that's pronounced Con. C-A-N-N-E-S. I think it's the Con. I think that's how they
I thought it
pronounce
was
it.
canned.
Cans?
Can.
Can-A?
I think the and
But it's French.
then I don't fucking know. Whatever.
Kansas. That's the bootleg version.
Can't.
What if we just called it the Cannes Film Festival? C-A-N-S, just Cannes. Like
There actually is a local film festival here.
here?
Yeah.
Oh, well, Little Bastards is getting entered for sure. 100%. No doubt, Playboy. I'm going to start writing that this week. It's going down, man. Little Bastards.
Yeah, I don't know if I have anything else to add, but yeah,
All
if you like Looney Tunes and shit and a live action version at that, and yeah, I mean, if you like cartoons and slapstick comedy, this might be for you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Anyways, all right, well, check it out. Support the guys who made it. They're independent. Well, maybe they are fucking trying to get into Hollywood. If they are, fuck them, you fucking assholes. But, hey, they're doing their own fucking thing. So, I mean, shit, they do have investors, so they are pleasing some masters, I guess.
But it's not Hollywood.
That's true. Well, that we know of. I mean, we don't know who the investors are. But anyways.
Imagine if these guys end up getting the attention of Hollywood.
Imagine if they direct the next Avengers movies.
I hope not, dude. I feel like if these guys end up doing anything, they're basically gonna create what is something equivalent to Space Jam minus the basketball. So like a Looney Tunes movie, like Looney Tunes back in action.
Yeah.
With Brendan Fraser and I forgot who else was in it.
Or maybe it'll be like a live action Tom and Jerry movie.
Yeah, that's
Something to that effect,
Yes.
Anyways.
All right,
we'll go check it out. Let's get the fuck out of here. Go to GameRageMagazine.com. You can hear all of our podcasts there. If you want to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine, Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag. If you want to follow Adam, it's All Gas No Trash Official on Instagram for the All Gas No Trash podcast.
And if you want to check out what we said as far as San Diego Comic-Con news, you can check out Panel to Panel. So
indeed, and also you can also hear any of these things. Everything's on YouTube as well. If YouTube is your app of choice, go there to watch our stuff at Game Rage Magazine on YouTube. Anyways, that'll do it for us. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Oh, hey there, buddy. It's me, 1930s announcer guy, here to congratulate you on making it through this episode. As our heroes are getting in their jalopies and riding off into the literal sunset, they wanted me to tell you thanks for listening to their radio broadcast, and should you be so kind as to follow them on some fancy schmancy radio station publication called Instagram and TikTok at Game Range Magazine, and on some other thing called Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag. Also, they wanted me to inform you and ask if you could be so kind again as to visit something called a website at www.GameRageMagazine.com. I don't know what that is, buddy, but you should probably go do those things. And, don't forget to tune in next time to the Game Rage Movies and TV radio broadcast.